It's interesting how when we step into creation and create for the purposes of providing an awareness benefit, we have cause and effect that is taken care of, yes, but we also open a window of opportunity that can be seized upon by the controllers. For every idea we create and generate does seem to afford a cause and effect potentiality for them to launch an attack. I have experienced this for myself endlessly. I share in whatever way I am doing on the real side, and almost as night follows day, I can expect an attack, even simply speaking with individuals, and I can expect to see a group of agents charging at me and bringing their chosen weapons to bear. But this seems to be part of the process. We share, we earn our way and our awareness, and we open windows that permit the controllers to strike by whatever means they deem necessary, on the real side predominantly, but on the physical level too. New friends have had their personal life situations crumble to dust and mayhem as they proceed with their process. Mariam in Africa is a prime example. How she has lost the stability that her personal life afforded her as she shared and presented the ease. For yes, many people will question why the process of awareness and the New You song doesn't improve their personal lives, and can in fact make them worse. The journey is for the positioning of oneself beyond creation, universal positioning. It is a process to this end, and may have no bearing on the personal life at all. The personal life and the real self are in different worlds effectively, one a simulation, the other real, and the process of awareness and the journey of recognition of the is catered toward the real self, who we really are, and not so much a consideration as to the created selves and simulation that we are superseding. With awareness we can see how to make better decisions with our personal lives, but ultimately the New You song and the process of awareness is not about improving our lives in a simulation that is rapidly self-destructing. So these attacks and the crumbling of our personal situations and personal lives is something we must endure. It is hell and high water, a mighty journey, and all of creation, all those unaware, are in opposition of this undertaking. It is the risk-taker position. We must be prepared to risk it all, even our very lives, if we wish to recognize and stand with the is. It is only a simulated holographic created life and body vehicle here anyway, so all we lose is just something we created. So we, in essence, set ourselves up for these potential windows of attack through our sharings and presentings of the ears, windows of potential assaults that would not be shared by those not taking the risk and presenting the ears. I would suggest then that if a new friend is isolated and on their own in relation to their personal life and home circumstances, that they are far more vulnerable. If they are sharing and affording the attack opportunity, then attacks are sure to come. If you have a group of new friends all living together, then they are all sharing and presenting in their unique and individual ways, and are so still providing windows of cause and effect attack opportunities, but the nature and timing of the attack will be in accordance with the sharing that they do. And so, in theory, one individual's cause and effect sharing controller attack will differ from another's, and if they are in each other's presence, then the window for one will be different to the window for the other, and if the attack involves both, then the controllers have overstepped the mark. They had the opportunity afforded by one of the individuals, but not the other. But as the other was still involved due to their presence, it follows that the cause and effect attack that one did not earn will result in harsher karmic consequences for the controller attackers, maybe to the extent that they actually can't launch such an attack at all, if the two individuals remain in each other's presence generally. In essence, then, this serves as another barrier and protection that creating and presenting the ears in different ways and time phases can provide. Following this, then, individuals who are not presenting the ears at all will not be presenting these cause and effect attack opportunities, and if they are then in the company of a new friend who is, the attack will not take place until the new friend is isolated. Here's an amusing notion then. For added protection, don't bother with armour. Just protect yourself with a constant cushion of the unaware, who are not presenting the true reality. So how did I come to this viewpoint? Well, as you may know or not, I house share. The peoples in my house have, let's say, various degrees of interest in the new presentation, from dismissal to interest and the sharing of it. But we are not sharing in complete conjunction, doing our own things, as it were, in the various degrees that we do. Thus our cause and effect windows of potential controller attack are all over the place and not aligned, resulting in a distinct lack of attacks that involve all of us simultaneously if we are in each other's presence. So any attacks we individually experience are chiefly on the real side, consequently, beyond the physical level and the vicinity we generally share. That was until this very week, the 3rd week of September. Every other house occupant was on vacation, but for me, and my goodness, I have been under siege since the first day. Never have I had such a tumultuous week. As the saying goes, if it can go wrong, it did. I've had constant electrical interference. My primary computer now is virtually inoperable for editing my usual YouTube is sharings. The computer gradually deteriorated through the week until it fizzed out utterly on the Thursday. The middle computer followed suit. Anything I tried to record verbally came out distorted. The computer with all my files on was partially erased. Just as well I always print my dream experiences as I go, or I'd have lost them all. The first few days I had experiences where I wasn't quite awake, but not asleep. The in-betweeny state, I call it. And throughout these days, I was under relentless attack from dark forces. I was being dragged into the lower astral levels, extricating myself from them just to be dragged back again. I was constantly singing the New You song, and that's the only thing that got me through that experience. I am certain that had I lacked awareness and not sung the New You song, I'd be in the lower astral now. My physical body may be in a sustained coma or dead, with me maybe held captive in the forbidding areas of the astral. Then throughout the week, the house was under a steady assault from what I can only describe as poltergeist activity. The constant sound of footfalls going up and down the stairs, strange voices in the air, banging and crashing of cupboard doors, and other assorted noises. And as we may know, ghostly poltergeist phenomena can have adverse effects on electricals, and that may explain the computers. Or maybe my house was targeted by a 5G satellite and the technology sabotaged. Either way, I had the viewpoint, the awareness, insight and impression that this was based on the cause and effect window of attack potentiality I had exacted via my sharings and presentings of the ears. An attack that couldn't have taken place with the constant presence of the other house dwellers, as they had not caused this effect to feature in their life experience. So I was afforded inadvertently protection by being amongst others who were creating varying ideas to mine, and thus different experiences of cause and effect occurrences. For this is the only week where such a degree of activity has taken place. The only week in about a year where I have been alone. As I sit here and write these last words, I have 1 day to go. I'll have to get a new computer over the weekend to continue with my video editing. But there is 1 day and 1 night, one final moment for the dark forces to strike again. If you hear this radio show, which I will broadcast in a week's time, you'll know I have survived. Okay, that sounds a bit melodramatic. I'll just be a little lighter of pocket, due to having to buy a computer that was, up until this week, working perfectly fine. But we soldier on. We continue presenting the ears, sharing and giving others the opportunity, and earning our way, ready to face all of creation, all the confrontation, trials and tribulations that are to come, as we endeavour to move ever onward into the unknown, taking the risk to see and be what we have never been before, despite all the adversity that stands in our path.